Minutes to get some stats on this tournament?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty then.
I don't understand what's going on here. You see me on there, Nick? Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Tackle Shop Live. What's up, what's up, what's up?
Took my breath away. A young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day, you called me up. You told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms.
Lane Grace, how are you, buddy?
Well, I
Tim
know
McSee.
what I feel. Please tell me your love is
Yeah, man. Good evening. Great Mills, how you doing? Stacks Fishing. Oh, yeah, we're going to... E-Stacks. Hold up. E-Stacks. He's hoping for a good show tonight. We bring it every freaking Thursday night. Come on, baby. It's going to be fun. Yeah, baby. Operator area. You know that. Absolutely, Trey Mills. We're famous for operator area.
A long blonde hair and your beautiful smile. Your sense of humor makes it all.
Yeah, man. Trey Mills. Yeah, that's right. E-Stacks. Chris Henninger. How you doing? Oh, how you doing, Paul? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks so much, man, for everything. Yeah, Trey. You better believe it. Gonna bring it. Scott Shope. Randall Miller. Jay Sandberg, Michael Bradley's in the house, Robert Murray. How's everybody, man? YouTuber, user, what's up, buddy? Conway. I heard Conway went fishing yesterday. Right on, Conway. Back in a day of work, go fishing. I love it. LP Bass, Jim Saban, Mike Hayer. David Schottlemeyer, Sam and Sam. Holy mackerel, everybody's here tonight. I can't go with three. Bridget, what's up, Bridget? Oh, Bridget. Well, I hope you do recover very quickly. Hope it wasn't too bad. I hope you get through that real good. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah. Alvin Valentine. Wow. Yeah, baby. Chad, how are you doing? Greg Plank. Wow, what a great bunch of people stopping in here. We appreciate you guys so much. Absolutely. This is Tackle Shop Live. We come at you every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And I gotta check something here. Sorry. And we bring you fishing tips. We talk about tackle. We talk about fishing. And we just absolutely love it. And we love you guys joining us every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We appreciate it very much. Nick.
Yep.
Tonight we're talking October fishing. But one of the things in October is a thing called cheese. Do you know what the cheese is, Nick?
I do.
You do know what the cheese is, don't you, Nick?
Yeah, I do.
What is the cheese, Nick?
So you're talking cheese on the mats.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was talking with a guy this week, and it brought me way back to a time when I didn't know anything about that, about mat fishing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this guy had no clue. He had no clue about mat fishing. He was like, I have no clue. And I thought, man, this is something that I was taught from, of course, one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
You know my history.
Are you talking this guy right next to you, or?
Well, I fish with the best. That's just what I've done. Anyway, one of the things is this time of year is you have old grass. The grass is old. It's been growing all year, and it gets what they call a mat. All right, and the mat gets on there, and it makes a canopy over top of, an area, whatever. But that canopy can be for miles. That mat could be for miles. But there's certain parts of the mat that attract more fish. And that is what we call like the cheese. That's what we call like the old mat. That's what we call in tidal water, we call it the dirty mat. You know what I'm saying? And once you start understanding cheese and the right type of mat, then it narrows down the great big long giant.
Yeah, you could do miles.
I mean, it could be miles. But when you start understanding like that old nasty, stuff that is it's a lot more yellower. It's got that yellow and brown in it, and it's kind of really disgusting looking stuff. But what it does is it kind of kills off some of the stuff underneath it. So it makes a really good canopy. This fish can swim around underneath there.
I like that.
And the bait fish can be underneath there and everything. And that's the places you want to concentrate on. And I know we're in an area where we have a lot of tidal water fish. We have the Potomac River, we have the Chesapeake Bay, and you have tidal influxes where it goes up and down. And the mats in the tidal water might be gigantic at low tide because, of course, the tide goes out and all the grass rolls over. But even in those situations where you're looking down through and you see grass for miles, if you really look at that grass and you start seeing the yellowish, nasty looking grass that's folded over and the cheese kind of that gets on top of that, that's grass that never goes back underwater when high tide comes. That's stuff that's always going to be there. And that is the key spots to trigger or to concentrate on. And I was showed that by a fellow one year. And all of a sudden I took these great big giant mats and went down to these small little areas that you can concentrate on. And then what you'll find in those types of mats is you'll find the bluegills are all in there. The crayfish are crawling around on the mats. They're in there doing their thing. There's the bait is all around that area. And then that's where the bass concentrate to, because the bait's there, the food's there, the canopy is always going to be there. High tide, low tide, extra high tide, extra low tide. That's always going to be there for them. And they have the area to swim underneath, and it's just the perfect stuff. So my point to this conversation is the cheese is that kind of thing. It's where those fish concentrate in a gigantic mat when you're so overwhelmed by so much grass. And this is mature grass right now. We're start of October is the mature grass at its most mature state. And this is when you're going to see, the guy told me, he said, look for all the sticks and in the cans, the soda cans and the trash that gathers on top. That's the stuff that's always going to be there. It doesn't float away because it's always on that mat. Mat goes up, mat goes down. The water doesn't wash it away. That is the true mat that you want to fish. And when I learned that, George, it was epiphany. Is that a word? It was an epiphany.
It is.
It was an epiphany.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it was like, tunk over there. You know what I mean? All those spots started coming about. And that was a year on the Potomac River when I think it was Kelly Jordan won the tournament down there. And he was saying about this thing. And one of the things he said was some of those mats were the size of pie plates that these fish would get underneath, and he would just go around and just punch all these little spots, these little dirty spots. And that's how he caught his fish. And it was just amazing.
So 2 questions for you real quick. So who was the angler that told you this?
Yeah. Stephen Kennedy.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then the second question for you and George is this. When you get areas in which you're talking about on a body of water like the Potomac, like the Upper Bay, how long do those fish usually stay concentrated in certain areas, or they just move and go to other areas?
They're there. They're there for, and until the bait goes away. So as long as when you're fishing those spots, George will test to this, but as long as you're fishing those areas and you're hearing like the bluegill sipping off the bottom like that, they're sucking bugs off the bottom of that mat, and you actually see crawfish crawling in that stuff.
Absolutely.
Little bitty crawfish are just crawling around in that mat. And if you really start paying attention to what's going on with those mats, as long as that's going on, the fish are always going to be there. But as the grass starts to die off, then the whole grass thing changes, and it just depends on temperature, depends on the time of the timing, all your timing, and then those fish will just becomes toxic, and the fish transition to what we call the hard cover, and that's when things can get really interesting. But I just wanted to kind of bring that to light, because talking with this guy, he's like, man, dude, I just been struggling with this. And he said, I'm going to start looking for that. And I said, well, go in there and at all, you look for that trashy, nasty looking stuff and go fish that, or go over and poke around at it and see if you see bait, see if you see this, see if you see that. And if that's happening in that nasty spot, then you're going to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, my experience, because I'll ride that grass until there's ice on it,
The bitter end.
And you'll know when it's the end.
Yeah,
you will know when it's the end. But a couple things I really enjoyed the conversation there. But being a shallow water guy and fishing, loving grass and mats and the cheese, first, let me back up, getting ahead of myself. It's an area I like to discuss. First of all, you got to pay attention to your bottom contour. So, is it shallower here? Is there a contour? Is there a drop? Keep that in mind. Second of all, you fish a mat with your ears and your eyes as much as you do with your rod. Because to Mike's point and to Nick's point, some of these cheese mats are like multiple football fields.
they are.
I mean, and getting down the field is tough. Ask the Jets. So, I mean, imagine trying to fish down multiple football fields.
God almighty. Right to it.
Ask the Giants. But in all seriousness, listening for activity, observing the crawfish, you'll see them walking on top of the mats. You'll hear, like to Mike's point, the bluegills popping the mat. You'll actually see bait fish come up through the mat and try to get back down through. That's because what's ever eating them,
it's pushing them out,
is right there.
They're right there. So
stop, take a minute, and get your life together, because you're on the fish.
Yeah.
And October is a great month for that.
It is,
because we're transitioning in this part of the country. We could be rapidly transitioning into the grass as a no-fly zone. But this year, as crazy as the weather is in the entire United States, we are behind schedule in the Northeast on a typical fall progression. But
yeah,
guys, if I may, and this is a bit of a segue, and I was talking to Skeeter Steve about this a little earlier. Skeeter Steve's fixing to go north next week. And, he's very water temperature minded.
Yeah.
As we all are. But in a year like this, and I've seen this cycle 3-4 times, length of day affects the life cycles of these fish and prey as much as water temperature.
Yeah.
Yes, the water temperature should be whatever. Get over it. The length of day will now take over. These fish are now in a fall. Like they know. The DNA has spoken. Now you get down to where our Bassmaster EQ is, Wheeler Lake in Decatur, Alabama. The calendar says fall, but the lake says summer.
Yeah.
Is it fall? No. Is it summer? No. But it's that big, like, zombie zone in between, and
yeah,
it's more expanded down here. It's more compressed up here.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But the mat still plays.
Yeah. No, and for you guys who struggle with the mat fishing, and I hope that those tips will help you out with narrowing that down. And then there is nothing funner than swinging an 1.5 ounce or a 2 ounce piece of lead with a sweet beaver on the back of that thing, and then you dye it up a little bit with your green pumpkin sweet beaver, and then you put a little red on the tips.
I love it when you talk dirty.
A little red up on this tip here, and then you run a little red on the belly of it down through here like this, and you flip that out there and that thing and punch through that cheese mat. Punch through that mat. You wouldn't think you wouldn't think it goes through, but that tungsten goes right through that. And that thing falls about 2 inches, and then it stops.
And all of a sudden you hear
it's deeper than 2 inches. And you just tighten up on that, and you're like, "Oh, son, man, it's game on." It's one of the greatest bites and battles that you're going to have. I know flipping a heavy mat. One time I was flipping with one of my pro buddies, and he flipped in this. I flipped in this real heavy mat one time, and I set the hook on this. I mean, it dropped 2 inches, and this guy jumped all over it, and I and it was like the mat gave birth to a 3.5 pounder. Just like this 3.5 pounder just comes out of this mat, and I just swing it right in the boat. Now we were both like, that was the greatest landing of a fish ever, man. It was like the mat gave birth to this 3.5 pounder. It was awesome. But my thing is that you can frog it. You can frog that mat. You can punch that mat. And we like to run down through it with a frog, get some blow ups, kind of see where the concentration of fish are, and then come back and punch hard on that stuff. And you can really tighten up some good ones.
Do you guys, so for boat positioning, you using a push pole?
The trolling motor? That's a great question, Nick.
That is a great question.
So let's say it's day one of a couple days on a body of water we haven't been on in a while. Okay. And it's right now. The first thing we're going to do on those mats, first we're going to go seek them out. We're going to take a little cup of coffee, 20 ounce. I find it's the right size. Wawa, Colombian. And I like to run those mats and look at them. And then when I get my kind of layout, I'm fishing the outside. Okay. I'm looking, I'm listening. Remember the eyes and the ears. And, here's where the hard part is when you're not getting bit. This time of the year, you don't get bit a lot. So, first of all, tip number one.
Patience.
Talking to you.
Is that patience?
You're not going to get bit a lot, and then you're going to get bit a lot. So, sir, we went an hour, and we covered 3/4 of a mile of this grass field. We haven't had a bite. Great. That means the next quarter mile should be awesome. Keep going. Keep grinding. Keep the trolling motor in the water. You will not catch them running this time of the year. And it is so tempting. The inner voices creep in your head, and they start telling you that what you're doing is wrong. Well, I should be offshore. I need to go out and scope. Great. You should have started that first thing this morning. Whatever your plan of attack is, whether it's shallow or deep or intermediate, and you have your Sunday derby, club, local, something big like the Conowingo Bass tournament series, huge like that.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is, you need to have a game plan, and you need to, like, this time of year, you need to lock into that game plan. Now, if your game plan's shallow, then you're going to stay shallow all freaking day.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to put your trolling motor down and you're going to fish. Mike and I fished a tournament Sunday. We literally fished 1.5 miles without talking.
Yeah.
We were just like looking. Nothing was
Believe
right.
it or not, George wasn't talking.
Oh, see, that's dirty.
See, believe it or not, George didn't say a word for 1.5 miles, which is kind of like 30 minutes. That's like an unbelievable run.
I just, I don't even, I mean, I'm not even going to respond. That's petty.
Speaking of that tournament, George, can I go over the results in that tournament real quick?
Well, sure, Mike.
Just real quick.
Jump in there.
Well, I just before we get rolling in the show.
Well, we're rolling in the show.
We had a great tournament on Conowingo. It was extremely tough and difficult. And George and I, we didn't do that well. We had 5 or 6 pounds, and we just threw them back in the water
as usual.
And but we learned a lot. It was something that we always try to go and learn something from, and we did. We learned something on the way home. We learned where there was a beer distributor on the way home, so we made a stop there. But we did learn.
But the most interesting part of that is when the Amish dude pulled up in the pimped out buggy.
Yeah.
And he's like, trying to score.
Yeah, he was really asking for directions, but I think what he really was asking for was one of them 5 stars. Yeah, I think so. But it was a very, very good tournament, and it was a great, great run tournament, as all the Conowingo Opens are. But it was a difficult fishing time for us. I mean, we just, a lot of guys struggled. There's no problem catching 10 to 12.5 inch fish. There's just not a problem doing that
all day long.
You can do it all day long, but the problem is catching those bigger fish, and a lot of guys struggle with it, and rightfully so. But
well, let me say something about that. That tournament was a absolute classroom experience of what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
We had a lot of bites in a little bit of water.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of water with no bites.
Yeah.
And, we knew that.
Yeah.
And that was our discipline there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it.
It didn't work out.
No doubt. It just didn't work out for us. The big fish didn't bite for us. And but I was all right. We had a good time. We took something away from it. That's what we always want to do, is take something away from it. But check this out. I'm going to go 5 spots. And John Vanor and Jack Eckler, 10 pounds, 9.5. 10.95 pounds. And those guys are hammers down there. John Vanor is just a great fisherman, did really, really well, and did great. 4th place was Nate Brown and Clyde Brown. Nate, great fisherman on Conowingo. They had 11-17. Him and his dad fish there all the time. They love it. Good for them. Great job, guys. 3rd place, Bart Trainer and Jay Sandberg. Bart and Jay, man, you guys learning that body of water, doing what you do. You told me that I didn't mention your name fast enough. Well, I'm going to go on to this and on and on and on about it. Bart and Jay, man, what unbelievable way to go, guys. 11.29. Okay, now this is where you want to pay attention. 11.29 for 3rd place. Anthony Cicero, Josh Rand, Anthony kicking our ass all year long, taking our dollar bills. So 11.29 to 2nd is 11.31. Look at that, how close that is. 1st place, String Lutz and Hudson Lutz, father and son. You got to see the pictures. Go on Conowingo Opens on Facebook and look at the picture of String and Hudson, father and son duo. 11.32 by 1 ounce. They take the lead, win the tournament, and they had a 3.6 lunker. I think they got lunker too, if I'm right. I think they had the lunker, maybe not, but String and Hudson, man, what a great entire tournament win for you guys. Father-son team, unbelievable. Beat 1 ounce or 100. You know what I'm saying, Nick?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a win, baby.
Yeah.
I don't care. I love Anthony Cicero, but, Anth, you've been taking our dollars all year long. I'm glad you lost.
Was
buddy.
that the last tournament of the year?
We have a championship tournament.
Championship tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. George and I are going to go down and win that one.
That's the one. Might as well.
So anyway, thank you to everybody for fishing those tournaments. That's going to be great. George and I are donating $1,000 to the championship purse. That's our sponsorship. Awesome. We give away $1,000 on top of the pot, and that's our sponsorship for the tournament. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
What if we win it?
Well, I mean,
there'll be some disappointed Cowboys out there.
I know
what I'm doing.
George, yeah.
I can tell you what I'm doing. You know them guys that donate back, and they like give up their tournament purse for whatever cause?
Yeah.
I ain't one of them.
Yeah. You're not?
No.
You're such a jerk.
Well,
speaking of that, George, did you see that?
I was hoping that you would pick up. I was trying to lay down a perfect segue there.
I mean, come on, that college championship.
Well, so Trip Berlinski.
Yeah, Trip.
Won the college bracket. So the college bracket is a really cool Bassmaster tournament. If you don't know about it, jump on Bassmaster and just kind of freshen yourself up on it.
It's cool.
It really is. And so the not the last classic qualifier, but the next to last classic qualifier is the college bracket champion.
Yeah.
So the way college teams work is they're teams.
Yeah.
And so this tournament's like a week, and it's a team competition. And then when
they keep necking down, necking
brackets.
Yeah.
See the word bracket in there?
Yeah.
College bracket.
Just making it kind of plain, George. You don't have to.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows what the bracket means.
No,
but that's
not everybody
does.
That's
a good point. So, some people call it bracket, other people call it necking down. You get to that last team that wins the team championship, right? So they won the championship. Now they separate out and fish head to head.
Yeah.
Mono on mono.
Which that sucks.
No, does not suck.
So the guys that are on the team, they fish against each other on the same boat.
No, they get their own boat.
Okay.
Steel cage death match.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the winner.
Guess what?
Then the winner goes to the classic.
The classic.
Yeah.
So you got best buddies.
Yeah, going against each
fighting
other.
Against each other.
I mean,
it's
like a story.
Civil War.
It's like a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale.
Guy that gets second.
No, it is awesome. Okay,
it's terrible. It's
awesome.
I think it's freaking terrible.
Because what the outcome would be if it was me and you.
It's terrible. I would feel so bad when you were sitting in the stage down in the
now
watching me in the classic.
I could promise
you horrible.
It'd be the third classic stands for.
Yeah, it would be. And it would just
No.
So I see a little, you guys remember the movie Necessary Roughness? The guy goes back to school.
Yeah.
You guys go back to school.
Yeah.
Get in there. Go to the classic.
Well, I'm just saying, so this Trip Berlinski, to get back on track here.
Yeah.
To Mike's point. He's a college student. And the number one thing that college students are is broke ass sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Okay. You ain't got no money when you're in college.
Yeah.
Okay. None.
That's true.
Zero. You're spending it all on glide baits, forward facing sonar, and gas. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So not how it was in my day, but that's how it is.
Well, you sleep in the back of your truck and in the back seat of your truck.
So my man,
truck or whatever.
Yeah. And my man, Trip Berlinski, who wins this bracket, he's going to the classic. He won $7,500.
That'd be life-changing for a college kid.
I mean, I'd be like,
it'd be life-changing.
I would just think that I just literally became the CEO of Bass. Like I would ball out. I would stay at like the Hilton and I'd be eating at Sizzler. And it would be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Until the bill, the check bounced. But anyways, getting back on point. He takes his $7,500. Now, his area where he's from was devastated by Hurricane Helene.
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
He's from Carter County, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And he gave it to him to help with people who are still suffering from no house, wiped out. I don't even want to go down that political trail.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this much.
I tell you what, there wasn't a dry eye in the place when he was
Trip
when he was
Belinsky,
doing that.
Awesome.
I mean, it was
college senior.
Yeah.
Come on.
The tournament director, the lady who was helping with the tournaments.
Come on.
And everybody was just like, I mean, it was just an unbelievable act of kindness. And
if I had like the ultimate producer, we'd have applause and everything.
well, the thing about it is, George, for me though, before I go to that,
but I don't.
The thing about that is that here it is, here it is right in your face when you hear so much bad stuff about that generation of kids, and they don't care about anything. They're only focused on themselves, and they're just
stand up.
It's just a different. There is groups of people in this world that are just grounded, and they had the right parenting and parents behind them.
You know what else they had?
That this is what happened. This is the kind of kid that you raised, and it goes to the parents. I mean, it really does. It goes to the parents. They had to be super proud of him. How he did that, and it's just unbelievable. Just
what else they have?
What?
They're fishermen.
They're fishermen.
Fishermen are wired differently.
Yeah.
You can look at it from a number of different metrics. You can look at it from the way these young men behave in college. We've had direct exposure to one of them who fishes for Bethel, young Bubba Cicero, Anthony the Fourth, who has worked here. Remarkable.
Yeah.
And I think it's the upbringing / they're fishermen. They were raised that way.
Yeah, outdoors.
And I think this Trip Berlinski is a prime example of
Absolutely.
that. And I know if you instill this in young people, they're going to have some guidance. Well, I kind of like to fish my tournament this weekend and not go out and party with you guys tonight.
Yeah.
Which could, you never know where that's going to lead. You do know where this is going to lead. This is going to be all good. That could be good, but it could also go sideways. So, it's a very powerful, this guy exemplifies it, this Trip Berlinski, and I'll tell you what, 7,500. Can you imagine being a college senior with a $7,500 check, walking across the stage to the mayor of Carter County and saying, here you go. Maybe we can help somebody get,
It doesn't get much better than that. And rooting for him at the Classic.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Kid's a hammer, too.
And it's in Tennessee, so he might have a little insight on the old Tennessee River.
He might. He might.
Good stuff, huh?
Oh, fantastic.
Good stuff.
Fantastic. Trip Berlinski. I don't know what button it's going to be.
Oh, you blew it. Don't even go back. You can't go back.
Could be this one. Could be that
No,
one.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, I'm going to stay away.
Your preparation as a producer, if you were on like any other show, you would have been let go a long time ago.
No.
But since you don't get paid for this one,
Yeah, but I bring such great insight. How can you fire me?
No, I'm talking from a producer angle,
Yeah.
not from your on-air personality.
Well, no,
See, there's a difference. You got
you got
the on-air personality.
You got on-air
the producer.
personality and producing. And
very good.
You don't find somebody that has such great qualities in both.
Well, that's true, and we haven't yet.
Well, we're actually the camera's working.
Well, that has nothing to do with you.
And the microphones are working.
Yes, very good. You
Yeah,
plugged wires in.
I mean,
it's incredible. The talent level is just freaking incredible. It's amazing.
I'm telling you right now.
I love it.
But
if
anybody wants a job, there's an opening spot. There's an opening spot over here.
Jumping back to the Bassmaster EQ at Wheeler.
Oh.
And these are some sandbagging, poor mouth crying. Now, keep in mind, this is probably for like the average guy. This is incredibly difficult fishing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so keep in mind,
Yeah, the worst time of the year to go fish that lake, honestly.
it is incredibly difficult
Honestly,
fishing.
yeah.
And we have Matt Adams in first with 23-14. We have a Laker Howell in second with 21-6.
What? I didn't know that. Love
And-
Laker Howell, man.
And then we got our guy, Gray Buck,
Gray Buck in third.
fourth
Damn,
with
fourth place.
19-8.
He's on fire.
Now, it does drop off pretty hard after the top, like 8. But I will say this.
Man, I hope.
We're at tournament number 2.
Yeah. How many is there?
There's 3.
Three total.
We
And they're
have-
taking how many?
9.
9 people.
We have Gray Buck in first
Points wise
Yep.
so far today.
right now.
After today,
Yep.
We have Russ Lane in 8th.
8th or 9th.
So we've got 2 of our horses in this race
Wow.
with 1 tournament to go.
Where's
and the-
Laker
and the
Howell?
rest of
Is
this
he
one.
up there?
You got to remember, Laker Howell, day 1 at the first tournament
Bad.
was like almost dead last because of whatever reason.
Oh, wow.
So his numbers are skewed in the wrong direction.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I really like
and
him
you know,
too.
George and Mike, this is something with this EQ. This is a sprint. You know, the Bassmaster Elite series is this big, long cross country run. This is a sprint to the finish, and you can't have one bad day.
No, you can't.
These
can't.
guys are hammers.
They are, man. Freaking crazy.
They are.
But Gray Buck, man. Holy crap.
He's on a tear.
He when he needs to rise, he rises.
Run to the roses.
Yep. He does. He really does it, man. That's just
George, was this tournament on live today?
Not yet. I
Okay.
think it's on just the last day. Now, the next EQ tournament, which is on, I think, Okeechobee,
Yes.
that all 3 days are televised. So they're going to bring the full bass crew down.
well, that's gonna be tight, man. You know it's gonna be tight for
Yeah.
that one.
Well, I'm interested to see what happens in this one because if you look at the weights, that top couple weights, it really drops.
Yeah, you get past like 7th or 8th,
Yeah.
and it drops off because this is a difficult fishery.
So I'm wondering if those guys can duplicate, or if it was
That's a big ass.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, who knows?
Well,
Yeah.
usually when you're handicapping a 3-day tournament, so to figure out the cut, you will take your day 1, double it, and if it's really good fishing, that's your estimated cut. If it's tough fishing, you subtract at least a pound from that. So, you know, if 10th place is 10 pounds, your estimated cut would be no more than 19 because the weights are going to drop, because the lake's receiving pressure. Everything is just trending downwards.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
So that's where we're at. Tomorrow we're going to tune in early. We're going to see what's going on.
Yeah, we're gonna follow our boys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, George. Well, that was like a roundabout way to get to where we love to talk.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And everybody knows that we're a tackle shop and we love talking tackle. And this is called Tackle Shop Live.
Oh, it is.
And guess what we like to do? Talk about tackle.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, everybody's saying, welcome back, Nick. Yeah, we missed you last week.
You know, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
You know, it's an awesome place to be.
Yeah. Some days you can't make it, some days you can, and we like it when you're here.
I like it when I'm here too. Glad to be back.
Right on.
Yeah, Nick, it's good. I
Sure.
mean, we were hopping back and forth, weren't we?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny because, you know, I have a lot of stuff going on sometimes. And
Yeah.
last week, so I hop on to watch a little bit. And
Yeah.
I see Mike going back here. I see you guys, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, they're doing good.
Well, they
They're
were
doing good.
saying they were saying that, you know, I might bump your position, but I ain't never gonna happen.
No.
So maybe we need to switch. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I would love that. I'd love to get farther away from this.
Oh
This-
no,
this
you
part.
do a heck of a job. And you
This
know what?
part.
You don't get credit for either. You're a hell of an MC as well.
Oh yeah,
So
that's right.
there you go.
George, what are we going to talk about today in the world of tackle? We love tackle. So what do you got hot, baby?
Well, I have some killer megabass. I have the new Respect Series color that was released a few days ago, and it is available right now. It's available in the 110+1.
Look at that color, Nick. Tell me that's not going to catch him, man. I have a color of that in another bait that I just whack them on. I can't even imagine it with megabass.
It's available in the 110+1. It's available in the 110. It's available in the 110 Junior +1. And the name of the color is Golden Brown.
Brownie.
Now this
Golden Brownie
is a primo shad color. This is actually a tweak on an old school megabass color from back in the day. I mean, that brown has a lot of olive in it.
It does have a lot of olive in it.
That belly has got that pearl. That side is got that translucence.
Yeah.
This is money.
That's going to be
straight money.
Yep.
This is a sunny day, cloudy day, clear water killer.
No doubt about it. No doubt about that, George. Golden
Brownie. This month's Respect Series color. Now, some of the versions have sold out already. We apologize for that. We didn't know it was going to go like this. But the money's here. The juice is here. Again, 110+1. Of course, probably the most popular of them all is the 110. Right? You know, come on. And then 110 Junior +1.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is mandatory. Kirk Blackador says mandatory color for the North. Amen, brother. I was exposed to it in Michigan. So was Mike.
Yep.
Years ago.
George, while you're talking about the 110+1 Junior and the 110+1, when do you like to fish one or the other?
That's a good question, isn't it, Mike?
Great question.
All right, so let's assume that we are fishing a body of water that has depth ranges from 0 to, I might be fishing 20 foot of water, which is a lot of waters, right? So that'd be considered standard, not a shallow body of water. So I'm going to have, when I'm on a jerkbait bite, I'm going to have a 110 and a 110+1 already rigged on the front deck of the boat. In today's day and age, a lot of times we're scoping. So we're going to know which one to pick up when. And let me tell you something, manufacturers, you better accurately predict what your baits run because we know exactly what they run. So those two are given. Now, where your question is interesting is when do we downsize? What, Mike, break that down for us. Like, what would be the two, biggest reasons for us to downsize? At least one big reason.
Well,
I know what you and I do a lot.
Yeah. When the temperature drops hard, and you have that colder water, that's probably the main reason you downsize.
Like
but
a cold front,
drop in water temperature.
The other thing is with forward facing, he doesn't like to say it, but he's probably the second or third best forward facing artist that he knows. And I like to call him an artist. When they're backing off on the big boy, he will be cutting some line quick. Okay. By the end of the day,
Yeah.
you might as well just take the Mega Bass boxes and dump them out.
I tell you,
they're everywhere.
But the point that George is making is it's amazing the difference, Nick, between a 110 and a 110 junior. It's absolutely freaking amazing.
It really is.
If you're getting short strikes or you're just not getting bit, you know the fish are there. Now you can see them on forward facing. It's an absolute amazing when you switch up to a junior size and lay that sucker out there. What happens? It really is. I think it's more powerful in the low 50s into the 40s. I think the difference, when they get off of that 110 and get on that 110 junior, the difference is unbelievable. I mean, it's like a night and day bite on that. It's incredible.
Well, I'm glad you guys brought up like the two different sizes, because with forward facing, the biggest thing I think we're finding out is size means a lot more than we ever thought.
Yeah.
So if you're throwing a bait out there and it's too small and you're like, wow, they're coming up for it, but they won't take it.
Yeah.
Throw something bigger.
Yeah.
Or if it's the opposite, if you're throwing something big and they're not eating it, throw something smaller.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't just think that one size is always going to be the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just size is so much does matter. Okay. Size so much in fishing does matter. And I'm just going to straight up tell you that because we've seen it happen so many times.
PG-13, bro.
George and I fish a lot of times in the winter. We start fishing with our buddies because they're not guiding as much. So, and it's a time for us to get together with them and fish. So there's a lot of times we're three in the boat.
Great dirt performance.
Yeah. And right. Right. And we'll get out there. George and I,
it's like an evaluation.
Yeah. George and I will get out there with those guys and one of us will be, fishing this, fishing that. And then you'll see it right away. Somebody will pick up the junior and start catching them. And it's like, okay, and now we know that as soon as that happens, we all switch right to juniors.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just what happens.
There's a little bit of hunt and peck involved here, but I think Nick summed it up the best. If you're on the screen and you're seeing reactions to your bait, it's pretty simple. If you're fishing a 110, you drop back, or vice versa. To Mike's point, my personal experience with the junior is a killer cold front bait. Temperature drop, sluggish fish, the 110 junior turns them on. I mean, it's just like, it's pretty effective. So, when you're shopping for tackle, especially if you're kind of new to this game and you're learning, exercise some restraint. We start showing you these colors, like these Japan only colors here and limited releases. We start showing you some of the other colors. We're going to show you some of the Respect Series stuff, some of the, limited release stuff. You just want to have it all. But if you're building an arsenal, think about that. Think about, I need full size baits and I need downsized baits. And budget your money accordingly, because in this situation here, this particular color, I am having all of them. 110, +1, junior, and +1. The junior's not available, but the +1 is. This is going to help me solve, when I'm seeing them, and they're not eating it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Also from Mega Bass, guys, because we love our Mega Bass. We absolutely love it to death. We talk about it at least on every show. We have this latest Respect Series color. Now we're getting a little low, but we have enough for you. Now this one's called GP Kiku. I don't know what you're kicking, but you know, I know what this thing's kicking. We Kiku into bass ass. We have it in 110+1, and we have it in 110 junior. You got your orange on the belly, your translucents. Let's get one out of the box. Let's go deep dive. Oh, yeah. So we have a little bit of everything that's good on here. We have a little bit of that grape translucence. We have that pearly blue to purple back, reminiscent of a few other tones in the Mega Bass line that have been so good over the years. Look at that. It's a work of art. So that is your Respect series, boys, and that's called GP Kiku. And I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. After 25 years of representing Mega Bass, I've become very fluent in Japanese. You can ask me almost anything.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Sure.
Huh?
Sure. Keep moving there.
Don't test me. I do have a couple of random, what I like to call Japan only colors, like random drops. This is a good one. I'm going to save the legend for last. I'm going to tell you about the legend last. So a lot of you aren't even old enough to understand what I'm going to hit you with on number 3 here. Some of you are. I know William Clute's old enough. He's old.
Old and wise, William. Old and wise.
Well, keep telling yourself that. Okay. SG Kasumi Reaction. 110 junior +1 only. I mean, we're talking about like Zoolander stuff here. You know what I'm talking about? This is literally Zoolander. You got to get on them bars there, Nick.
It's hard to zoom in on that, but you know, to me, it reminds me of like
Tiger.
Like Frankenstein veins in the head of some.
It's a tiger. It's in fishing. It's called a tiger pattern.
Yeah, but it's like veins coming.
Very
out of
faded
skin. You know, it's.
I love that peach belly.
Like a zombie veins coming out of your.
So this is SG.
Getting close
Kasumi
to Halloween. Nick.
Reaction. Okay.
Good one. Good one. I like it.
Yeah, this stuff's limited. You know, they offer this occasionally on a Japan only order, and you know we like to partake.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, this next color is a longtime Mega Bass favorite. Sometimes it's available, sometimes it's not. It's not really what I would call rare. It's what I would call good. This is SB OB Shad. SB OB. I don't know what the OB stands for because it doesn't have an orange belly.
Well, when you go sideways on it, see that orange right there?
Ah.
See, it's up inside the
inside.
back. It's in the back.
So we have the orange belly,
Muted.
clear,
Yeah.
the copper, the black.
Kind of has a flash to it, man. It's a badass.
It is badass.
It's a badass.
It's a clear water killer.
Oh, yeah.
SB OB Shad +1. Now, I want to take a couple minutes of your time, and the tackle talk segment's almost done. Believe it or not, I kept it short tonight. But the next color, you know, has some meaning to me. Because back in the day,
You're not going to start crying on it.
no, no. No, it could draw up a tear.
Yeah.
It could draw up a tear, but I doubt it. You know, but this color back in the day, and actually there's a gentleman that was with us for many, many years who passed a couple years ago, was a OG Megabass. Like when you guys who are kind of new to Megabass, when you think you've been around Megabass for a while, the guy I'm talking about,
Oh yeah.
he was banging them on Megabass before a lot of people knew what Megabass was.
Yeah.
And he figured out the way the system worked back in the day. And he figured out within a 3-day time window, this is a really cool story, by the way, of when the UPS driver would be delivering that month's Megabass order. And Catherine in Massachusetts is still working in that office. She knows about this. She's probably watching. She's a big fan of the show.
He would
He would
figure
get
it
a
out.
3-day. He'd be there and he knew. So what he did was he figured out when the Megabass is getting delivered within 3 days. He also figured out what time the UPS driver typically showed up. So for 3 days, every month of that window, he would hang out. Like, nothing to see here. And when that guy delivered, then he would be a little aggressive and he would say, "What's in the box?" And my man came strapped. And he would buy. This is his number one all-time color. John Herdwick, this one's for you, bro. Mike Heidig,
Yeah.
Bob Hodgins.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys aren't with us anymore. That's how old this color is. This is TLC.
Yeah. Chartreuse is really awesome on that. The white,
Super bright, hot chartreuse
I
belly.
love the white on the tail.
White top on the tail. Look at that.
Just freaking awesome.
That is TLC. This color on the local Susquehanna River has caught unimaginable amounts of smallmouth bass.
It was so good. I think it was a band named after it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how good it is.
Yeah. So there you
Or
go.
a TV show, even TLC.
That's our Megabass release for the week. And
Tackle Talk?
Hmm?
Is that Tackle Talk?
oh no,
Oh, you got more?
not much.
Love it.
So let me wet my whistle here.
Fish on first time here. Was it Fish?
St. Cress is back in the hizzy.
St. Chris. Yep. Get your fish on. Welcome to the show, brother. Thank you so much for stopping in. Appreciate you. First time guy here. And there's a lot of first timers.
If you can't catch fish with those baits, you shouldn't be fishing and should try competitive eating. Joey Chestnut, you've been served notice, bro. It's over.
Yeah, he wants to get that color.
St. Chris hasn't been around for a minute.
Yeah. But
St. Chris, we appreciate
welcome,
you kicking in.
Welcome to everybody that's new to the show. Appreciate you guys stopping in. If everybody would just take the time right now and just like and share wherever you're listening to this on Facebook or YouTube, just share it for us.
Boys,
give us a share and a like and a high five and a
if I may,
whatever.
If I may, do not tune out because
we got lots of stuff coming up.
Have you ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street? Because I pulled one of those moves. I am talking about, I have negotiated one of the largest cash deals in the history of tackle retailing. My partner in crime flew from Brisbane, Australia over here because he liked my idea so much. 19 hours. That was his second flight. Then he got 12-hour hangover in San Francisco. Then he had to fly to Wisconsin, so he could go to Jersey, so he could get in a car and come see me, so he could negotiate something I'm going to unveil a little later on tonight. So we're talking
You don't want to go anywhere.
hundreds of thousands of dollars at play.
I don't know if it was that much.
Oh,
but
it was.
it's pretty
Trust
intensive.
me. The company has paused all foreign travel. No negotiations on new contracts until next year's ICAST because of this guy. And let me tell you something. I'm bringing the heat later tonight. Do not log out, or else guess what?
You're gonna
Your
miss
shot at fame and fortune.
You're gonna miss
She
it.
gone.
Yep.
She gone.
Yeah, gonna miss it.
All right. So now we got that straight. I would like to talk to you about this crazy trend that I spent a lot of time fishing this to try to figure this out. These here dice, these tumbleweeds, we all know about them. I'm not here talking. I'm not talking about dice. I'm not talking about tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
I'm talking about adapting to them. I keep them tied up all the time, but I like to fish them essentially wacky style, if you can call it that, Nico style, if you want to call it that. But I like to put a weight in them, okay? So a nail weight. Well, the problem is you got to use tungsten because lead, or you can use a heavy lead and cut it in half. But I've been on these smaller dice like this tumbleweed, I've been all about this tungsten. Let me see. I have one here. So this is the BKK Permalock Nail Keeper. You see that? That is about, I don't know, 20-pound fluorocarbon. And that is glued into a notch. And I'm telling you, it does not come out. And it's small enough that you can insert it sideways in the bait. Also, you can buy yourself a pack of Z-Man's tungsten spikes. Look how little they are. Now, don't get crazy. That's a 16th of an ounce, okay?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So I thought because this whole dice thing is evolving, you know, we talked about fishing them on the drop shot, and guess what?
Phenomenal.
We're going to do some rig of the week stuff on the tumbleweed, the dice bait, whatever. We're going to break it down. We're going to go deep into the bushes on the dice bait on rig of the week in about a week or two, probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about all the different ways to rig them. Do not want to spoil it. And I know a lot of you guys who are hardcore are dialed in. Maybe we shed some light on something. Maybe we just share ideas. Either way, it's going to be a great segment. But tonight we're going to talk about this BKK Permalock nail, which, by the way, is useful for weighting a mag draft. Oh, it does great for that. Weighting a fluke. Oh, it does great for that. But really, really good for weighting a dice. We're also going to talk about this Z-Man tungsten spike. You get the picture. Those BKK Permalock nails, tungsten, $6.99. A 32nd is a 5 count. A 16th is a 4 count. They don't throw them. So as long as you don't throw them, you're good. I don't know what made me bring that up.
I don't know.
But I did.
Well, because of the dice nation is going to change here real soon.
A lot of times when it comes to the last minute on Tackle Talk, it'll be a really cool conversation I had with a customer between Monday and Thursday that stuck with me.
Yeah.
And this was one of them.
Yeah.
This guy that I was talking to is knocking them on these dice baits, and he was sharing You know, because once you start developing confidence in something, you're going to kind of go outside the lines. You're going to color outside the lines, as they say.
Yeah.
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 So there you go.
I love it.
And that
I love it. I'm excited.
is your
I'm excited for those baits. We've been catching some fish on them. We've been throwing them and
oh, we're going to break that down
Yeah.
either next week or the following week.
yeah.
We have a bunch of guests lined up for you. We have John Cruz lined up for you. We have Mike McClelland lined up for you. Bridget, who commented earlier, is lined up for you. And we're going to put that all together in the next couple of weeks, every other week for the next, let's say, 6 weeks, and bring you that awesome entertainment and knowledge and discussion. So we're going to have to fit some of this stuff in the cracks, so to speak. Right?
Fit it in. Fit it in.
Yeah, so guys, we're talking about, October, like bass fishing, and this is a unique year. I want to set the stage here. This is a unique year. So, everywhere in the country, it's way above normal temperature. I mean, we all have shorts on.
Yeah.
Now at night, you can feel a little touch in the air.
Got to throw the sweatshirt on.
And it reminds you what's coming. So it also reminds the fish what's coming. Also, what I've learned over all my decades on this planet is when this happens, it's not just about water temperature. It's also about length of day.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So we have fish that are transitioning into the fall feed in a lot of this country based more on length of day than temperature.
Yeah.
So I say be flexible and go with it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And I understand that. And that's exactly, kind of what does start pushing those fish in that direction. But it's still a really tricky time, because you do warm up, and like we had 80 degrees the last 2 days. Started out at 45 and it warmed all the way up to 80. So we had 81, we had 45 in the morning, 81 in the afternoon. I mean, I'm telling you, man, it can screw up a one-car funeral. Let me tell you right now, it really can. And so what George is saying is, yes, it's the fish are thinking about it because of the time of day, and they are. You are getting those wolf packs. You're starting to get those fish that are schooling up, as we saw on Sunday in our tournament. Our first stop we had schooling fish. Didn't last long. They weren't schooled for very long, but they did start schooling, and we did have that. So you're starting to see this, and you're hearing guys talk about getting on a pile of fish, catching 6, 8, 10 fish, and then they're gone. The problem with these warm days is that they do still scatter out. The bait fish scatters, everything scatters out. So, but the fish do know the time. They understand length of day, and you will start noticing that big time with these fish, especially through October. No matter what.
Well, so what I did was I asked cameraman Nick and I asked Mike, I said, look, guys, let's talk about Oktoberfest Bassin, early stages, which, this particular year is an anomaly. It's a little tricky. And, I'm going to ask you guys about some of the things that you are confident in and rely on. And I'm going to merge in some of the stuff that I'm now keep in mind, guys and gals, we're predominantly shallow water people. We're not allergic to deep water. We're not allergic to any technology, but this season in general lends itself to shallow water. Our bait is moving shallow. Our bass are following and becoming shallow. And the techniques that we use are bait fish oriented shallow techniques. And a lot of it is moving baits. I mean, Mike was razzing me a little bit because I forgot let's just say in our last tournament, I forgot. Somehow I took all the bullet weights and rigging gear out of the boat. So when we got to the ramp in the morning, we had no way of rigging a Texas rig, a drop shot, or anything else.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we had a Carolina rig tied up, and fortunately, we had, nothing else tied up. We fished moving baits, but it's kind of like what we would have done anyways. But I digress. So this is for me, and I'm going to start, guys, if that's okay. But for me, I'm going, as they say in sports betting, I'm going chalk. I'm going spinnerbait, buzzbait. I should say buzzbait, spinnerbait, because that's how I weight them. I actually should say buzzbait, chatterbait, spinnerbait. Now, I realize that's 3 different things, but I count it as one. So my first rod is actually 3 to 5 rods because I like multiples of each rigged up. So my first of 5 is actually 6 rods. Did I say 3 to 5? I meant to say 6. I want to show you guys something here.
First of all, Nick, you got to show them you got to zoom in on this thing, man.
I want to show you guys something here, okay? I want to show you a early fall spinnerbait. Now, I want you to pay attention to that skirt color, that yellow, that olive, and that white. This, I talk about greenfish tackle a lot. I literally have no affiliation with them as if they're helping me, other than the fact that I freaking love their products, I love their culture, and I love the people that work there. But as far as like John Hare, he hasn't given me a spinnerbait or a jig in my entire life. And I like it like that. I like it like that. I don't like to be feeling obligated to people. That is one badass bait fish spinnerbait. That little bit of yellow in there, it's kind of like a play on chartreuse and white. Depending on sky color and watercolor. In other words, a bait fish color. It could be white. It could be chartreuse and white. I like this one. I like double willow. I also like Colorado willow. Colorado willow is what we call tandem. I'm going to say in today's day and age, let me get my 28-year-old.
Nick.
There we go. I was zipping her the wrong.
What do you got there, George?
I have a 28-year-old spinnerbait binder. The binder's worth like $1.50, and I have about $6,000 worth of spinnerbaits in it. And some people find it. Some people find it hilarious. I don't.
I think it's. But what do you do with them? We haven't found a really good spinnerbait thing yet, so we just kind of stick with it.
Well, I'm giving you some of my ideas. Double willow.
Now you're talking. That's my
3/8
favorite.
ounce.
That's my favorite fall spinnerbait right there.
Double willow, white war eagle. This is money, 100% money. I'm putting this on the money side. And I'm looking for something.
Golden Niner.
I'm looking for that. I'm also looking for something else.
Yeah. Half ounce Willow, Colorado.
Yeah.
The funny thing, we talk about that at another date when we talked about our spinnerbait fishing and how the tandem is so much different than a double willow. It's night and day.
And it's overlooked.
And it's way overlooked.
Well,
here we go.
George already picked out 2 spinnerbaits there, and he's looking
both
to
double
get another
willows.
one here.
Yeah.
George, set the stage for why you would pick each one. Like, what's the difference?
Well,
what are you thinking there?
So what this spinnerbait gives you, that little kicker gives you a ton of vibration compared to double willow. So double willow is great. This is your day in, day out, get her done. Okay, but when they're not getting it done, when you're missing a lot of fish, when you're getting a lot of short strikes, even with a kicker hook, trailer hook,
yeah,
This bad boy right here is what the fish are telling you. They're saying, now it will have a skirt on it, obviously,
Yeah.
but I keep a lot of my spinner baits without skirts, and I keep a skirt box, and I assemble on the run. Okay. There's times when I like white with gold in it. There's times when I like white with silver in it. I don't want to carry like 2 or 3 of each spinner bait. So I just do this, pop it on, pop it off.
Yeah.
Easy.
Another thing nice about that, Nick, you can get it a little bit deeper.
And I like this in half ounce.
Yeah, you can get that a little bit deeper and still fish it kind of at a decent speed without it lifting real high in the water column. So really like it for following the contour. It's not a slow rolling bait, don't get me wrong, but you still got the real good shad profile with the willow leaf, but you do get that little bit different depth, and you can fish a little bit faster in that deeper water without it rising way up out of the strike zone.
Right.
So there's times where, you just need to throw it. You don't need to throw it all the time, but you need to throw it this time of year. You need to pick it up and throw it, especially if you're kind of not getting bit like you should be.
How about that, Fish On? Fish On says, here in the Ozarks, we like an orange kicker blade. And I find that very interesting because a lot of those lakes are clear.
Yeah.
I have.
That's where it comes from, though, doesn't it?
No, it comes from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I have relegated this spinnerbait to dingy water. But we learned from each other here.
Yeah.
So, Fish On,
We're going to throw that.
it's going down.
We're throwing that more into clear water.
And George, you picked the spinnerbait for your early October.
Well, actually, I picked the spinnerbait, buzzbait, and chatterbait, and I put them all in one
All right,
line.
so here's my question for you.
But really, it's buzzbait, chatterbait, spinnerbait.
What are you seeing throughout your day that's going to make you choose one over the other?
So I
really-
like wind.
Well, yeah, wind, but honestly, he's throwing all 3.
Okay.
And it's just all of a sudden you start getting bites. You start getting those bites. I mean, it takes bites. Honestly, it takes bites to tell you what they want. That's
You're just rotating.
You're just rotating through it. That's why I like fishing with somebody like George,
How you
because
did it, George?
because he's not a guy who, just because I caught one on a spinnerbait, he's going to pick a spinnerbait and start throwing it. You know what I mean? I like fishing with people who want to figure out the bite like big time. So I'm throwing a spinnerbait and I'm getting a few bites. He's throwing a buzzbait. He's going to continue to throw the buzzbait. He's going to continue to throw the
Looks like a problem.
a chatterbait right behind me. And then we're going to figure out what they really want. And that's the trick to it this time of year.
Oh, I'm throwing a buzzbait.
Are you just tying on to that and throwing the whole thing out there? Or?
Let me tell you. So I throw essentially, I mean, I don't often throw that, but when I do, it's a memorable day. So essentially, I throw a white buzzbait and I throw a black buzzbait.
This thing's
Now,
hideous looking.
These babies are prime. Prime. I like the head knocker. I can tune it up and have it lightly hit, not hit at all. I like a little bit of ding. I'm a booger man guy. This is a greenfish. Again, greenfish does nothing for me, but they make a badass spinnerbait. But I am a booger man A, greenfish B, white. But most of the time in the fall, and we are in Rock Oktoberfest, it will not be a skirt. This skirt will come off, and there will be a Zoom Super Fluke or a Zoom Horny Toad on there. I keep it pretty simple. And I got to tell you, you get a tough bite and you put the hammer down on that trolling motor and you go. Now, I know we're talking about spinnerbaits, buzzbaits, and chatterbaits all as one. I'm not going to talk about the chatterbait. Okay. And I don't want to dominate this conversation because Nick and Mike have great information, but I do want to say this. In my spinnerbait, buzzbait, and chatterbait column, I also include the whopper plopper.
We're done, Nick. We're out. He's gonna cover everything here.
No, I'm out. But I do add
covering
the whopper,
everything all in one.
I do add the whopper plopper to the spinnerbait, buzzbait, chat. And I'm sorry if you don't see it. That's on you. Okay, and that's okay.
It's all together.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. This is a learning experience. And if you can't group a spinnerbait and a chatterbait and a buzzbait and a whopper plopper together, then maybe you should change the channel.
Yeah.
Because this bad boy is the equivalent of my buzzbait. Some days they eat this better than my buzzbait. Some days, plus my buzzbait allows me to cast to areas I can't cast this. Because if you'd like to learn how to skip, take a buzzbait. Here's one. Now, this one doesn't have any paint left on it for some odd reason.
Must have caught some fish on that
It
one.
caught hundreds. It's about ready to explode. But I will put a... She sound good, don't she? I'll put a super fluke or a horny toad on this. And what this will do for me is allow me to skip into places where you can't put a whopper plopper. And this time of the year, it's all about shallow bait and bass taking advantage of them. They're actually waiting. They're looking back. Our Daiwa rep was in the other night, Tim Bazarski, and he was relating a story where he took his son and
Great stories with him.
they went back in this creek arm looking to catch bait for striper fishing with a cast net. And they saw these bass blowing up on this bait, and they went in there to get the bait. And this whole bank was laid with laydowns, and it was like parking spots, and every one of them was a big fish. So they backed off, and they waited for the bass to blow up on the bait, and they just sat there and caught bass. That's what you have to be thinking about this time of the year. It's not like you're not really going to find a school up shallow, but you're going to find small wolf packs, right?
Wolf packs.
And this and this and these is a good way to start. Now, keep in mind, guys, we're talking about Oktoberfest Bassin on an abnormal year, but the daylight is making the transition happen.
It's funny, Al, you know, the thing about those baits right there is we throw them all day long. We throw a buzz bait all day long. We throw a spinner bait all day long. We throw a chatter bait all day long. And George is now throwing a whopper plopper all day long. But absolutely, the fish, you know, just because it's a topwater lure doesn't mean it's a morning and evening thing. I mean, and I say this over and over again, but it's very important to put this in your brain. I've had some of my greatest topwater days at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I just stumbled across a schooling ball of fish and had a topwater land there, picked it up and just smashed them.
What do we always say is the best time?
When they're biting.
10:30 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain times where they just absolutely, you'll catch them all day long on topwater. So there is no, this time of year, there is no great time. I mean, you're always in the morning and you're always in the evening because the pressure is off. The boat traffic is down. It's the morning, the fish were all calm, and you're going to have that little bit of extra in the morning, a little bit extra, but don't put that stuff away. Keep it out on the deck because you're gonna have this happen. And we've caught fish. I mean, I just throw a buzzbait all day long this time of year. I'd never put it down.
That's a fun bite.
It is. It's just a fun bite. So
And you can move a lot of water.
And you can cover a lot of water. And there again, I mean, we talked about this. You got to cover a lot of water to find out where these fish are feeding and what they're feeding on, and find that spot, you know. So very, very important.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk about buzzbait size and buzzbait weight. What do you like?
You know, I'm just going to say it. I just like throwing a 3/8 ounce with the bigger blade. I like the bigger blade and a 3/8 ounce size. I think
Is that a big blade?
that's a real big blade. That's a 1/2 ounce jumbo hammer dog.
That's a musky buzzbait.
Yeah.
I've caught a lot of bass on it.
Yeah. You know, in the fall, size I don't think is a big deal. Now, when the buzzbaits first start working in the early summer, June, July, you'll see a lot of guys throwing quarters, the smaller blade size, the smaller body size, really scaling down to mimic the bait fish. But in the fall, negatory. You're going for big. You're going for the big presentations. You're going for that 3/8 with the big blade on it. You know, you're going for that presentation is what you want from here on out. You don't want anything small, period. Don't want it. I would suggest that you just put a 3/8 ounce and just go at it. You know, it's just the way it is. So,
And Mike, I'm with you 100%. I'm actually, I think we're all probably the same.
yeah.
The buzz baits that George picked out, the black and the white,
Yeah.
it's pretty basic.
It is. I think buzzbait fishing is very basic.
I think it is too.
It is a black and black and white are going to be predominance. There is guys that are real picky on a gold blade or a black blade, you know, or a silver blade. There is guys picky on that, and that's fine. But you're going to throw white and you're going to throw black as a skirted, and then also in the minnow style baits on the back. And even the toad versions, you know, that George doesn't talk about that much because we don't throw that too much. But there's a big thing about the toads on the back of a buzz bait, and you know, guys just throw white and black. I mean, honestly, Greg DePalma, I don't think owns anything but black.
No, it's
And he's
black
a
and
buzz.
white, that's it.
He's a buzz bait chucking son of a gun, man. So. The toads, the flukes on the back. I know for smallmouth fishing, we really like to put a fluke. Sometimes we'll go to a smaller fluke, but this time of year, man, we're going full size fluke on there, and we're firing that thing out of there. Because these fish are, I mean, the time of the day is shrinking, like George said, and the fish are finding urgency. It's built in their DNA. The urgency is coming. So, do I exert a ton of energy on little teeny fry bait that's still around, or do I just gear up on a big old shad, find a bigger shad and eat one or two of them and exert a lot less energy and fatten up for the winter? That's I mean, don't make this complex. That's why big bait balls are better than small bait balls. These fish don't want to chase around and chase these little bitty things around. They want to eat real quick, get a bunch of that stuff in them, and then not burn any more energy and put a lot of fat on for the winter. That's all they're doing. It's nature. It's not.
Well, they can't burn more energy than they're taking.
Yeah, it's not complex.
Can't do it.
So Nick, what do you got?
So what you said, George, is really right there. You know, you're trying to find those fish with those baits that you said. If now I'm dialed in, like let's say we use those baits, we dialed in, and now I want to kind of take it to the next level. A bait for me is a jerk bait. I just feel really confident in a jerk bait and that's without technology. But now with technology, what we found is we've always put the jerk bait away. There's no time of year to put the jerk bait away. And this is prime time now that you're going to see a lot of reaction to it. But then, you know, right in the same family, you know, I got the jig. I'm just kidding, George.
Oh, you're going to throw the jig, Nick. And that's not for sure.
No, but I mean, what I like to do, you guys fish the river a lot. You guys are really good at fishing the river. But in my lakes that I like to fish, there's a lot of stump fields. There's a lot of, bank rock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like to pop the jig around once I kind of have things dialed in a little bit too for the reaction bite off them. But no, I'm going to stick with that jerk bait. That's the one I'm going to go with. Some of the colors that you showed today with Mega Bass and some of those prime times. I know I see George is picking out another bait here that's just the deal. But that's where I'm going to go with that.
Well, I agree 100%, Nick. You know, you can't just fish everything on the top. You gotta pick that stuff. You know, I always say that moving baits are going to pick off the aggressive fish, the fish that's going to attack and do that. And that's important. And then we like to work back through it. And you have to work back through with something. And that jig is, I mean, you're a jig man, and I understand that. And that's so important to keep what you're confident in chucking in there. And they're eating crayfish. They eat crayfish all the time. No doubt about it. That fish may not be chasing. He may be the fish that just like, dude, I chased a half an hour ago. I'm all full. Right. I don't want, man, don't make me go up there to chase them shad. I'm just going to sit here.
Well,
and then a crawfish comes down in front of them. They're going to eat it.
And I'm glad you said that. I want to give everybody a real quick tip that I caught a lot more fish with a jig. Now, a lot of times when I'm throwing a jig, I'm casting a jig, you know, and you bring it into some type of cover, you know, whether it's a stump, a lay down, whatever, a rock. The worst thing people do is they set the hook. You want to pop that thing because that reaction a lot of times triggers the bite.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I got a bite. You know, guys are setting hook, and every time you set the hook when you're around cover like that, you have a good chance of pulling that fish away from that cover when you set the hook like that.
Yeah.
And then next time when you cast back in, there's no fish there.
Oh, you pulled them to the boat,
You know,
right?
So that's just a little tip. But that jig, I love the jig. I know you guys do too.
Oh yeah, we fish the jig a lot. We fish it all the time, and we have it tied on all the time. You know, and that's kind of like the thing that I'm saying is, you know, I fish like George, so I love fishing all that stuff. If I'm fishing a spinnerbait, he's fishing the try tied up. You know, he's got the spinnerbait, or he's got the buzz bait and the quad, and he's got the quad all tied up. But
it's one category.
But you know, we do. You know, that's the thing about fishing this time of year. When you're fishing with your buddy, if you're both throwing the same thing, you're not really effectively figuring out the fish, because they'll get on a certain blade combination. They'll get on they might like the chatterbait over the spinnerbait that particular day. They might like the buzz bait over the wake bait. They might like this over that. So it's really important to try and to figure it out, to dial in. And when you dial in, that's when the bites start coming. You know, you just got to be patient. Some days it happens, some days it doesn't, and that's fishing. But if you guys are all fishing the same thing, like if your buddy shows up and jumps in your boat, and you go out and your first cast you throw into a tree with a wacky rig Senko and you whack one, and then you guys fish wacky rig Senkos all day long, I'm sorry, but you just missed. You might have. I'm not going to say you did, but you might have missed the whole entire bite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't chase
just it. Because you like throwing a wacky rig Senko doesn't necessarily make it to be the best bait for that day. I got a customer, great guy, love him to death, but he fishes a swim bait all the freaking time, and he catches fish on it. But there's a lot of days where he goes dry. You know, he just doesn't. You know, he caught a couple or whatever, but he has so much confidence in that bait. That's all he wants to throw.
He's missing the bite.
You just can't fall in love with anything. And this time of year, you can't fall in love with everything, because that's when you start screwing yourself. And for myself, you know, I'm throwing the same stuff that George is throwing, but I'm really mixing in the topwater stuff. I'm throwing the shower blues. I'm throwing the super spooks. I'm throwing the dog X's. I'm throwing the Sammies. I'm throwing the big Sammies. I'm throwing the big walking baits a lot right now. I'm throwing bigger poppers. You know, I'm fishing the poppers. I'm fishing all that stuff. And I'm mixing that all into what George said, because only time I slow down is when I go back over top my stuff. And when I slow down, I come back over top it with a jig. I come back over top it with a swim jig. And we come back over top of it with flipping something. And then that's our deal. Go up one thing, catch as many as you can, figure it out, whatever. Then where you got those bites, you come back through and you flip all that stuff. And then 2 hours later, you come back with all the spinner baits and buzz baits and do it all over again.
Yeah, if you're on a good fish.
If you caught those fish there, as October progresses, the fish will come together. This is a crazy October, so they're still kind of scattered out. But as it's going to happen, as October progresses, your fish start to come together. So those areas you get bites are going to be smaller and smaller and smaller, but there's more and more fish in those areas. Would you agree with that, Nick?
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. So they start to dial in on spots where the bait is pulling out to, or the bait's going to, or the grass mat that has the better oxygen for the bait fish. And it hasn't died off yet. It's still green grass. It still has that, that oxygen level. It's got the perfect mat over top, the perfect cheese on top. They'll start to congregate to those things. And that's what you're looking for. And once you start, the farther into it you go, the more concentrated those fish go. And that happens in October into the end of October. They're really concentrated. November, they're really feeding. Now they're like starting to panic, right? End of October, they start panicking.
They got to eat.
Shit starts happening. I got to put some weight on. That's when all this, it just gets better and better and better. But like George said at the beginning, this year is a lot different. And we had a few people chime in on here from different parts of the country, like Michigan. They're warm still, right, George?
Very.
I mean, things are behind, so it's going to come. But you gotta right now. Those fish are still a little scattered, so you got to cover a little bit more water. But then it starts coming together. Things start to come together, But throw those big baits, man. Those big baits give you big fish. That's what they do.
Well, Nick, number 2 on my list, which is going to require at least 2 rods. So now I'm up to 6 rods, and I have plenty of room on the front deck. I mean, my boat's huge. Let's just face it. So I'm cranking.
Nice.
I actually look forward to this time of the year because I love to fish a crankbait. It brings me a lot of my day is filled with, this is great. And I'm all about a square bill. Okay. And I'm keeping it real simple. I'm a shad guy. There's 2 of my favorites. Sexy shad ain't no joke. I'm a 1.5 KVD guy. I mean, I throw them all. Here's a Lucky Craft. I do like to kind of size up a little bit. So if I like to elaborate on that. So here's the deal. If you're on a shad fishery, and this is something I learned numerous times over, it's been drilled into me. I know Mike and I have cashed some checks on this. But if you're in a shad fishery, in the Northeast, you're going to get 2 to 3 spawns of shad a year. In the Southeast, I don't know how many times they spawn, but probably year round. But that means you're going to have different size classes to represent those different spawns. Little bitty, tiny bait, stay away from that. If you think you found the bait and it's flicking like that, or you're reeling your spinner bait in and they're that ain't the bait. Those fish aren't eating that bait. You see them jumping out of the water. That's, bluegill, perch, things like that. You want to find the bigger, older hatchlings and ones that got a little meat on the bones. You know, I don't like them great big wings. I don't like them little pigeon wings, but them ones right in the middle. That I'm coming back to your
That's
spot.
funny.
Yeah, I'm coming back there.
Why the 2 rods, George?
Well, I'm gonna have at least 2, but I like to rig up a standard 1.5, and I like to rig up what would be considered a 2.5. Now, this is one of my favorites. This is a Big Daddy Strike Lucky Craft. You may want to argue the fact that it's not a square bill, but it's a square bill. Argument just ended. I fish this through the nastiest of cover. As you can see, this one here has been around the block. Okay, it's caught many a big bass, and I haven't lost it yet. And trust me, my crankbaits are 4-wheel drive specialists. So 2 rods, 2 sizes, or 2 rods if the water's a little dingy. I'm not one to hearken back to some what I call standard colors. So standard wise, chartreuse blackback and crawfish. So I'm having 2 rods. Okay, I'm feeling this situation out. October Fest is also Crankbait Fest. And I'm having fun. Now, my setup here is 15-pound fluorocarbon. If I'm cranking hardcover, I actually use a crankbait rod. I like a medium heavy, moderate crankbait rod.
Yeah, he's fishing these up. He's fishing these up shallow. You know, he's fishing these in the shallow water there, Al.
If I'm fishing grass, I use a fast taper, medium powered, multi-purpose rod because I don't want that flex when I'm ripping this out of the grass. And if you don't like cranking grass because you don't like the grass on your hooks, you need to alter that thought process because I'm telling you right now,
Yeah,
there's nothing more deadly than ripping a square bill out of grass, and that's pre-spawn and fall. So number 2 on my list, square bill, my note, shad colors. Nick and Mike talked about topwater, which is number 3 on the list.
swim jig,
So yes,
swim jig, top water, swim
number no, topwater's number 4 on the list. Number 3 on the list, swim jig.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watch the what tournament was just on with that Scott Canterbury won, the NPFL.
Yeah.
So Scott Canterbury won the NPFL on his home lake, which was Lay Lake in Alabama. So first of all, how cool is that?
That's tough to do.
A lake you grew up on.
That's really tough to do.
A lake you remember as a teenager.
I like to know the stat on that. How many people do well on their own lake?
Not high.
I like to know what the
My
stat
point is this. He caught those fish in shallow water. He caught them on a white swim jig. He caught them flipping a white jig. He caught them on his Scott Canterbury buzzbait. He caught them on this show right here. Why? This is not like rocket science here. This is how you fish October.
Yeah.
You make as many presentations as you can to as much water as you can, and you pick off the active fish that are around bait. It's pretty simple science.
All right, George. We're getting late here.
We're always getting.
We're always running late, and we have to kind of get this thing going. But a lot of people have been hanging along tight. They've been hanging on.
Oh, that's right. I did make an announcement
because they want to know what the announcement is, and we got exactly 10 minutes to figure it out.
All right. So what I did was I flew in some guys from Nomad Designs from Australia. Brought them in for a power meeting. It was a arduous journey, but the rewards are massive. So what we're doing is we have Rig of the Week. Okay,
Rig of the week.
we have Rig of the Week, which is becoming a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a thing, and we're trying to manage it properly. You know, there's a lot of Paramounts involved, and a lot of, you know, Zuckerberger wants in, whatever. There's a lot of people that want in on it, but I went to Nomad Designs, which is an Australian bait company that we love, and they are now the title naming sponsor of Rig of the Week.
Nomad Designs.
Every week, we will give out a $25 SFT gift card emailed to you. You can use it in store, online, but you have to like, share. I don't know what the third thing is. Comment to be eligible.
So you really should, for the comment, it really should be, because Nomad is doing this.
Yeah.
It should be
Hashtag
linking Nomad. So at Nomad.
at Nomad.
And that way they can see that you're putting that on there.
At Nomad
They
Designs.
can see.
So
They have an
share,
entire department dedicated to monitoring this show.
right.
Yeah.
Like, share, and at Nomad in the comment section.
Yep.
So
and
it is,
thank you to Nomad
Thank you.
for stepping up and doing that. And I know it's a big deal for us. We love it.
now listen, I told them up front, ain't gonna be no, prostituting myself here on Nomad.
Well, no.
I mean, we love Nomad baits.
Yep.
We are going to talk about them,
Yeah.
but they're not necessarily going to be the Rig of the Week.
Right.
And they were so happy to hear that. They're all in.
Yep.
I really like those guys. I
Yep.
always have since day one. They are original.
Yep.
So Nomad Designs.
Yep.
Rig of the Week starts now.
Starts
and
now.
guys, some people are going to say this is lame, but you know what I'm going to say? Well, if you don't like it, just change channel. Which I say a lot. I don't mean it, but I do. I am going to talk about a Carolina rig. And the main reason I'm going to talk about a Carolina rig is last Sunday, albeit not big fish, I caught a pile of fish on a Carolina rig.
Yeah.
The chips were down.
Yep.
Mike and I were digging deep, trying to put something to happen. And I got the old ball and chain out.
Yep. I love the names for it. Ball and chain, dough ball rig, Carolina rig. I don't know what other names there is, but there's the dough ball and the ball and chain, and the Carolina rig is what I know it as.
Well, I call it the Carolina rig. Mike calls it the ball and chain. Some people call it the dough ball rig. What do you call it, Nick?
I call it the Carolina rig.
See, Nick's been raised properly. Okay. So here's the deal. I know it's basic. I know it's Rig of the Week, but think about this. We're going to have a Rig of the Week every week. This show's been going on for a decade or more. We're going to run out of rigs in the next 25 or 30 years.
And
Okay.
George, the Carolina rig, or ball and chain, whatever you want to call it, a lot of the rigs that you've showed us over the last few weeks are rigs that are fairly new.
This is old.
How long has the Carolina rig been around?
Since there's been a Carolina. I mean, I'm just telling you forever. Here's the deal. I'm an old school Carolina rig guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I have caught from 2 feet deep. Literally, when I used to fish the Potomac in my early days in pre-spawn, I Carolina rigged in 2 foot of water, shell beds all day long.
Yeah.
So from 2 feet deep to as deep as you want to go, from spring early till fall late. I just want to tell you, if you're not a Carolina rigger, and I'm being serious here, I know we like to joke around, you need to be one, okay? And there's a lot of tweaks, and there's a lot of, tricks with the Carolina rig. But what I'd like to say is this. You can drag any bait you want, okay? Now, here's what I like to drag.
No limitations.
There's none.
I love this one, George. The Crikey rig.
Yeah.
Hashtag Nomad Designs.
Yeah. I like to drag a French fry.
Good one, Bob. That's an awesome bait right there, by the way, Nick.
This is a Zoom centipede. I love dragging it on a Carolina rig. It's a deadly presentation. It's just back there. See, what's happening is on this rig, guys, and I like to throw a big sinker. I like a lead sinker. Doesn't matter what you use. Popular sinkers. Tungsten bullet weights. Egg sinkers. I like a big old, look at the size of that thing. That thing looks like it is something that, the Department of Defense designed.
What is the weight
That's
of
a
that?
3/4 ounce lead bullet weight. You could probably sink a warship from Iran with this thing. Okay.
Well, the thing about that is, we like to displace a lot of shit down there when we're dragging.
Check this. Here's something that I have friends in Texas that do. My friends from Hayabusa. Football. That's a 3/4 ounce tungsten. Now look at the size difference here. I mean, for the love of God.
That is crazy.
They're both 3/4. This one's smaller. Perhaps you noticed. Look at that. That's a football-shaped weight from VMC. It's called a rugby weight. It's made out of tungsten. Very hard.
Yeah, but the thing is, George, is the weight is creating the attraction.
Exactly.
And so you want something big and nasty down
Exactly.
there. You want that thing. Now, the only time I really see where tungsten, for me, honestly, it really helps is if I'm spending a lot of time in grass.
Okay, I agree.
I agree.
agree.
That's where my tungsten would come into play. But anywhere else, I like that lead. I like that big, giant piece of material down there, puffing up the bottom. Rattling around down there, creating the disturbance that catches the eye of the fish. And then what comes behind there, George?
Well, if it's on my Carolina rig,
First
of all,
just la-di-da along.
it's old school. And there's a good chance it's going to be a Zoom lizard.
Yeah.
Now, notice I said Zoom lizard.
Yeah.
You can throw any brand of lizard you want, but I have proven that the Zoom lizard will outfish every other lizard by a margin of 25-1. So I have no idea why you would throw any other lizard. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is green pumpkin red. And guess what? I don't get paid by Zoom.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they like me. I mean, I've been trying to be nice to them over the years.
I don't think they do like you.
I don't even think they remember.
I don't even know who you are.
I was friends with Ed Chamberlain Sr.
Yeah, but unfortunately, passed
and
passed
he's
away.
gone.
So you have no connection.
Zoom, I want to tell you something. You're probably going to see a robust sales in lizards starting at about 12 hours from now.
It's just a great.
You can thank me later.
The thing about the lizard, Nick, is it's like the original creature bait. It has all those little appendages just kind of cruising along in behind there. It has a lot of little movement and stuff. I tell you, we've caught thousands of fish on those things, man.
What about
Just
this one?
thousands of them. That's another one right there.
The baby brush hog, the mid-sized brush hog, the brush hog, the game hog, the rage hog. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a whole entire Bass Mafia bag full of these things. This is a killer Carolina rig bait. It's killer. I want to tell you guys something about Carolina rigging. It's that sinker down there dragging, beating, dragging, creating a disturbance, and then along comes this bait.
Yeah.
Now, you can dial in the bite, but a lot of times it don't matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But you didn't talk about the bead there, which is important.
I didn't even get to that yet.
Yeah,
okay?
that's really important. The bead.
I didn't even get there yet. I'm still talking about baits. How about a big old straight tail worm?
Love it. I put a Cinco on the back of mine every now and then.
Cinco, a trick worm, a mag trick worm. Okay, enough about the baits. Now, Mike has a great point.
This is where you got to be careful because
Should I tie one up?
I don't know how much time we have.
I can tie one up in less than 3 minutes.
All right, go ahead.
I've been known to tie two Carolina rigs up in a minute and 45
I know
seconds.
you have done that well for me out in the water.
I have to loosen up first.
But I think the big thing with that you got to be careful with. Gotta loosen up. He did. We were out fishing this one spot, and I'm like, man, we got to throw Carolina rigs, and he's like, all right, I'll get it. And he's like, I'm telling you, it's like 5 minutes, and we had 2 Carolina rigs in the water going, man, and that's a lot of knot tying. So anyway,
All right, here we go.
The beads.
But Mike, there's a sequence here.
Yeah, I know, but the beads. My point is, I'm going to get to the beads here. The beads.
Yeah, I know you do.
You got to be careful with them, because if you go tungsten and you go to glass beads, which I like glass beads. But I fish all lead. I fish a lot of lead. So the lead and the glass makes that nice noise. It just adds to that disturbance down there at the weight where you're dragging along. You know what I'm saying, Nick? And so you got to be careful with that. When you get to tungsten, sometimes when you set the hook hard, you might break the glass beads, or if you cast real hard and you get that, that crack on there, you can go through the glass beads a little bit.
Here's your sequence. So we are going to use Palomar knot. So you have to follow this sequence. We are going to use a number 7 Spro Taro swivel. Barrel swivel. Very basic. Very important. Step 1. Tie the swivel to your leader. And again, to do a Palomar knot at all, because you have to tie 3 knots. It's a bit of a
process.
It's a bit of a job. Now, have you started tying me yet?
No.
Leader. Okay.
You got 1 minute.
Leader. Boom. Now, main line. Okay. First, weight. We're going to go with the lead 3/4. Boom. We're going to go with the glass bead. Now, I would like to talk to you about the glass bead. 8mm faceted glass in red. You can use something else. I wouldn't. Okay, now, the leader is tied to the swivel, but there's nothing on the end. Makes it very easy to tie a Palomar knot on the other side of the swivel. Tie your Palomar knot there real quick like, and look, the end of your leader that is plain pulls right through the loop. Henceforth, the sequence. Now, what hook should I tie on? So here's my theory on that. Let's have a discussion on these hooks. So, in no particular order, I am going to go with a round bend offset. That is going to cover all of the baits I showed you. The hookup ratio on this hook is impressive. Round bend offset. I am also going to go with a round bend straight shank.
Like that hook.
The hookup ratio on this is equal to or more than the round bend offset. You can buy that in a Gamakatsu. You can buy that in a Hayabusa, whatever your heart desires. A BKK. You can buy hooks with better keepers on them. Whatever you like in the hook aisle. Okay. You can do an EWG hook, which I don't have here. Here we go. Works excellent. I'm going to put this at third on hookup ratio. First on bait management. So if you like convenience of not having to touch up your bait every now and again, go with this one. If you like sticking them, go with the first two. And that, my friends.
Show that up there, George.
Now, if I may, I would like to talk about leader length. Okay? So from here to here, I have two things to tell you about. If you're Carolina rigging a brush pile or deep wood, shorten that leader up to about 18 to 24 inches. You will snag less often. If you're Carolina rigging anywhere else, flats, which is what we use this a lot for, points, go to 3 feet. So let me repeat that. For most of your Carolina rigging on flats, points, outside of grass, it could be shallow as 2 foot, 3 foot. If you get into that wood, a tough bite where you're Carolina rigging laydowns that are deep laydowns or brush piles that are tricky to navigate, shorten that leader down to 18 to 24 inches and you'll cut your snags back tremendously.
Right.
Now, guys, that is your Nomad Design.
Nomad Designs.
Rig of the Week.
Rig of the Week.
Your comment, like, and share on all of our social media platforms. We're going to pick, we meaning Nick, are going to pick out a winner by taking everybody's names, putting them in a hat, shaking them up, and drawing.
Yeah.
And we're going to send a $25 sfttackle.com gift card your way.
Yep. And for you guys that don't know Nomad Designs, go on our website, sfttackle.com, and just go up to the search bar and put in Nomad, and you will see some of the really cool baits that they do. And
designed by hardcore fishermen.
Hardcore. And one of the key baits that we sell in here is a jig called the Wee Bit from Nomad Designs, from Greg DePalma, who's our sponsored pro and our buddy and a great guy and a fish catching machine. And he designed probably one of the greatest finesse jigs, power finesse jigs that you're ever going to fish. Honestly, I mean, it's fantastic. Not only that, but they have the live ops system in all of their baits. The live ops bait line, you got to check that stuff out. The plastics and everything is fantastic. So, all right, there you have it. And Nick Wink, thanks for coming back, buddy.
Oh, absolutely.
Good to have you back. And thank you everybody for stopping by Tackle Shop Live, which we do every Thursday night. All the new guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Get yourself that gift card, like and share, do what you got to do. And we'll catch you on the next Tackle Shop Live.
Go Phyllis.
Right there, you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day, you called me up. You told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me